security deposits, endless fees, emotional support animals.
Renter concerns, landlord concerns, the Arizona housing market, rental right now. That's Joe Knows Better. I'm Joe Ducey with the Better Business Bureau, and this is Joe Knows Better. I'm here with Michelle Marin, BBB's Vice President of Operations. Michelle, good to see you. Joining us is Deborah Simmons, owner of Advantage, Arizona Real Estate and Property Management, and Michael Coton, owner of KK Realty Corporation. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
You're both accredited businesses here at the BBB, and we appreciate that as well. Glad you're here, talking about something that there are a lot of renters in Arizona. I don't know the stats. Maybe you guys do about how many people rent, but I would think a lot. And so we're going to talk about a lot of things. If you're a renter, if you're a landlord, I think you should stay tuned to this because these guys have some good information about deposits, fees, some of the things going on right now. AC repair. I mean, it's what right now, when we're recording this, it's what, 100 and...
It's hot outside.
It's hot outside.
We're
and
thirsty.
Sometimes you don't want it to be hot inside.
Right.
So let's talk about some of this stuff. Well, first of all, let me talk about this, about rents. And I know, first, you guys both handle kind of different segments of the market, correct? Deborah, what typically do you handle?
We handle single-family residential homes specifically. We don't do any multi-housing.
Okay. So somebody comes to you, a landlord, and you're doing the property management for their place.
Yes, for the single-family homes, yes.
Okay. And Michael, about you?
Well, we're just the opposite. We're multifamily apartments, but typically in the affordable housing sector. So we're programs designed for people with lower and moderate incomes.
Okay. All right. So that's good. I'm glad you're both here. You may have different perspectives of what we're going to talk about. And so it'll be good to get both your perspectives. But first, let's talk about the housing market here in Arizona. Do you see it? I mean, for so long, it was so high, the amount that people had to pay for rents. And in fact, I sold my house. We sold our house when the kids left and thought, well, rent, it's cheap. You know, it was a few years ago, many years ago. And the rents just kept going up. It was like a mistake for us to do what we did. What are you seeing now? It seems like it's kind of leveling off a little bit. From your perspective, Deborah, what are you seeing?
So I'm seeing a leveling off, and now I'm saying that it's taken a little bit longer to rent the homes than it did. Yeah, a few years ago, as soon as you put the house on the market, it had 3 applications in one day. And now it's taking anywhere from 30 to 45 days to get a approved application and get it leased. So that's a definite slowdown. And the rents have come down some. So
okay. And Michael, what about you? I know it's a little different.
So our rents are typically set by the program, and they're below market. So we don't typically have as much of a problem finding people that are interested in renting. We don't have to lower our rents because they're already set by the program. But it is taking longer.
Really?
Yes. We used to have wait lists and people, when will that be available? When will you have a spot? And now we're finding that the traffic isn't quite as robust.
So are people not moving, or why would you think that maybe the demand has gotten fewer?
Well, I think one of the things is just the whole climate of the economy. I think people are just trying to stay where they are to see what's going to happen next. I really think that's true.
What's going to happen next? That's always...
We've got a rocking ship right now. So some people will just tend to slow down on what big moves.
Yeah. Okay.
And I find it interesting. I think that as the economy turns, we also find a difference in what units are desired. And when the economy is good and everything is solid, we see more interest in the one-bedroom units. People tend to buy their own autonomy. And when things get tight or people are concerned, the 2 bedrooms become more popular. People start to get roommates. They start to bunk up. They start to be a little bit more frugal.
Cohabitate.
So when things are good, people buy their independence. They buy their space. Okay. So there's changes that go on between what type of unit is desired based upon the economy as well.
Let's get into some of the things that people talk about when renters. A lot of renters, we hear about some of the complaints. We have a scam tracker thing, and we have complaints about businesses and such, and we hear a lot about fees and security deposits. So let's talk a little bit about fees. What should be expected for a renter to pay? And again, you're going to have different thoughts on this because of, I think, who you deal with. But what should be expected? Should there be a fee for an application fee? Should it be separate from a credit fee? Should there be anything else?
Generally speaking, every property management company has a different tiers of fees.
Okay.
I can only speak for me.
For the renter too, the fees for
the renter.
Yeah.
So basically, our tenants that apply, they have an app fee.
Yeah.
And then they're going to put the security deposit down, which is usually equal to 1 month's rent.
Okay.
We have an administration fee, and they have cleaning fees and pet fees.
Okay.
Those are some of those are refundable, some are non. Everything is completely disclosed to the tenant from the get-go. As soon as they apply, they already know everything that's going to be refundable or non-refundable. And we do not have additional rent fees that are tacked on. Like if you've got a dog, you're not going to pay me $10 a month for your dog. We just cover that with a pet deposit.
Okay. And all right. So and then people can decide if they want it or not. That's all up front.
Yes.
Okay. And Mike, what about you?
We're very, very minimal on our fees, partly because of the profile of renters that are our market.
Yeah.
And for us, it's a $25 fee to apply, which seems very low, but for the people that are in our market, that's grocery money. And what I think goes with that as well is that we deal with profiles where their credit is less than stellar, where their history is less than stellar, and they're quite often used to getting turned down and losing that money. Mm-hmm. So actually at KK, if they apply and they're declined, we actually give them back their $25.
Okay.
And
is that includes a credit check, all those things?
Correct. And the reason for that is we want to encourage them to apply and not to be so afraid that they're going to lose their $25 that they don't.
Okay.
So we're actually very light on the fees because for our profile, that's a hurdle to getting in or to even getting them to sign on the dotted line.
What about a security deposit? First month's rent as well? Or no?
We have, again, we deal with folks that have sometimes marginal credit or other issues that make them, more of a risk. Yeah. And we use security deposit as a way to get people in who might not otherwise be able to get in, who might not be otherwise accepted somewhere else. Okay. So in Arizona, you can have a security deposit of up to 1.5 months rent. Mm-hmm. So we would ask for a maximum 1.5 months rent security deposit on people that would otherwise be turned down. It's a way to give them an opportunity to get in.
So a leg up,
right?
In some ways, okay. Yeah.
But for those that have better rental histories and have better credit and those types of things, we go down to where it's even less than a month's rent.
Would you consider it kind of a shop around time for renters right now?
Definitely.
Okay.
Oh yes, they're professional shoppers.
Okay. All right.
Everything's online now, so they don't even need a real estate agent. They can just go to Zillow. They can go to Realtor.com, Homes.com. They can look at rentals all day long in the state of Arizona or in Phoenix without a real estate agent.
That's a fee that we've seen recently is people charging to see the property virtually.
It's called a pre-screening fee. It's not very common, but a lot of people are complaining about it now because there's one company that does it. We're not going to mention the name, and they attach themselves to this somehow. And even before you can see it, you have to pay this $49 fee.
I've heard of that.
Have you? Okay. It's in addition to the application fee or whatever else there would be. It doesn't make sense to a lot of people, or people pay it, they don't hear back. You have heard about that.
We don't, yes. And I think right now with it being as soft of a rental market as it is, I think that's just defeating the purpose to get the people to look at the home.
Yeah.
Sure. I wouldn't think of doing that.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot, in some of the cases, they think that they're also purposely below market value. So they even wonder about the property listing itself because it's kind of a lure to say, oh, yeah, I want that one, so I'll pay that fee.
And
anyway.
the property management company doesn't even know they're doing it in some instances.
Yeah. So I think questioning the fees, I think, is a good thing.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I remember booking rooms in Las Vegas, and they're very competitive, and you go online and it's very competitive as to whether it's $44 or $39, and people are very much looking at what is the price of the room.
Yeah.
And then you get to Vegas and you find, oh, there's the resort fee that was buried somewhere deep in the listing. And I think that that's kind of coming and creeping its way, particularly in, grade A, the market rentals, where they're advertising and they're online and it's units from $14.99, and then when you get there, that's when you learn that there's a trash collection fee, or there's a monthly cable fees or internet fee, and you end up it ends up being a lot more. Yeah, but the lead says it's $14.99, so
it's like the car business in some ways. The people complained about having the low thing, and then we don't have that one, but we've got this one.
Right.
And it's like
whatever. Or you forgot.
Yeah. Or forgot.
Winterization, and they add it all on, and by the time you're done, it's a different amount than you had thought you were coming in.
Okay. So so be careful. Do you see that too? Do you compete against some of those places?
And one of the things that they can do, a person that's going to apply and they're really getting interested in the home, they can ask for a blank copy of the lease and actually read through the lease. They have a right to read through the lease before they ever sign it.
That's a good tip.
And they can be sent a copy that's got something across it, so they really couldn't use it, but they can read it.
All right, let's talk about pet fees now, and pet deposits. Those are becoming big, I think, and I could see why a landlord might want some of that. I mean, pets, could cause problems, I think, in the place. First of all, what are your feelings about that, and how do these emotional support animals play into this? You guys have both mentioned that as an issue. And whoever wants to talk first is fine. Go ahead.
We permit pets, and part of the reason that we permit pets is because everyone can do an end run and turn it into an emotional support animal with very little work.
Which would mean what? If that happens?
An emotional support animal, you can't charge extra for it. You can't charge pet rent. You can't charge
deposit,
a fee, and you can't. Right, and
you can't deny them either.
Correct, you can't deny them. And interestingly, we had one file that just came to our leasing committee the other day where it was written in such a way that encouraged having 6 cats, and so it is certainly being abused. But that it's the
wait, 6 cats who are all.
Each one
emotional support animals
provided a different support vehicle for this particular person, and it was written in such a way that it met the requirements, and we couldn't say no. So
the person has to accept that can't be the reason that they don't accept the person.
Correct.
Wow.
So are landlords trying to find other reasons to get around that, or what?
We're going to put them through the basic same screening process as everyone. Yeah. Everyone's going to go through the same process. And there may be something else on their application that's going to get them declined, but you can't tell them it's going to be because of the pets.
Okay.
Wow.
We have emotional support hedgehogs. We have emotional support iguanas and emotional support snakes.
How about goats?
No. No goats.
I don't want to hear that high-pitched
he gets one tomorrow.
In the apartment next door. Yee, whatever the crazy goat sound is.
That's crazy.
So for us, we don't even bother to differentiate because most anyone can get an emotional. You can get it online.
Okay. Wow. Now, I don't even know. That's another podcast, emotional support animals, and how you determine that and what that means. You don't just put a vest on them and, they call them. I guess you can. And some people do. We can't minimize. I mean, some people do need
100%.
these things, right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
But it can be abused. Okay.
I just have one comment to make about pets. I think that humans make a lot more damage to properties than pets.
Interesting.
And I have done inspections on literally hundreds and hundreds of homes, and it's the humans that usually do the most damage. So our company is very pet friendly, and
what is the best way? As you're talking, I'm thinking the best way to get back your deposit. I mean, you're going to say make sure it's when you enter the place. I guess it's the same. Do you see people who lose deposits because there are things they should have done, like clean the place, had it professionally cleaned every time? What should people do?
Leave it filthy.
Yeah.
Do you want me? Okay. So our procedure is, first of all, when the person moves into the home, they have the right to fill out a complete move-in inspection. They can take pictures of the home. They can do videos. They can do anything they want to record exactly what the home looked like. we use that to determine when they move out what the preconditions might have been.
Okay.
So it needs to be a very, very fair treatment of their deposit. That's their money. We've kept it in a trust account for them. It's time for most of them work very hard to get the home cleaned up and get it ready.
Okay.
So we have a very fair procedure that we use, and we use their documentation as well.
Okay.
And it's interesting that Debbie's main focus is the condition of the unit and whether the money is withheld for damages. And for us, I would say it's probably equal parts damages, simply non-payment of rent.
Sure.
And often it's leaving or skipping without proper notice, which has a skip. You have to give 30-day notice. So not giving the notice and being charged for that. So I would say for us, it's about equal between the three. You don't seem to have as much problem with non-payment of rent or notice.
When you say, because let me get into that a little bit. Your program, you say programs. Is that government-related programs?
Yep.
And how can people get involved in that? Is there?
Well, for ours, they just apply.
For you, okay.
Yeah, and for ours, it's typically people with with incomes under 60% of the area median, and that's adjusted for family size.
Okay. All right. So they can get that information and then see if they go from there. All right. AC repair. It's huge right now. Problems. I know the AG's got involved in some cases.
Mm-hmm.
What it's considered I remember looking through all the landlord laws, and there's some that are very serious things that can. What should you do if you've got an AC problem?
Well, the first thing that we do is all of our tenants have an online portal where they put in a work order that their air conditioner is going down. Okay. That becomes a top priority for our staff. And we have assigned vendors that are independent contractors that we will send out very, very soon. It's 5 days from the time that they give you something in writing till you're supposed to have it repaired or replaced.
Even AC.
And it's really hard to do that sometimes because you've got to get an analysis done to see what's really wrong. Is it got to be repaired? Is it dead? We got to, can we resuscitate? That takes time.
Do you have to put an air conditioner in the meantime for these people?
Absolutely. If you have to do that and you've got some delays on delivery and installation, you can offer the family to go to a hotel for a few days. Mm-hmm. And we've done that before.
Paid for them to go to the hotel?
Yeah. Well, they get their prorated rent taken off of their hotel bill.
Okay. And Mike?
So we have a plethora of portable machines.
Okay.
And we provide one for every bedroom plus one for the common
when the AC is out.
When the AC is out. So that tends to help. But you have to have a slug of them because you can have several units go down at a time.
Yeah.
But fortunately we have enough properties and enough of those in town that we're able to do that. That helps. Part of the problem is that just January 1 of this year, they changed out, and there's no more R22. There's no more R410.
The gas.
We hear that.
And as a result, the parts are more and more difficult to find, and the air conditioning companies are trying to push people toward replacing instead of repairing. So it's not like going to O'Reilly O'Reilly Auto Parts and saying I need a water pump because they're not all the same.
Yeah.
So it's easy to take more than 5 days, and that becomes part of the problem.
And if somebody's taking a long time, I guess renters have the right if they're not getting air conditioning to help them, they have the right to complain to the Attorney General's office or somebody else if they're not getting anything at all. I mean, you can't. That's survival in the desert, especially during the summer.
Dangerous heat.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, let's move on to, you want to talk a little bit about rental insurance. I know that was something, Deborah, you wanted to talk about. It's demanded, I think, in a lot of cases, right? Do you think can somebody say, I want to rent from you, but I don't want the insurance?
They could say that, but we're going to push back and say the homeowner requires you to cover with renter's insurance.
And legally they can do that.
Yes,
as long as it's up front, they can say, well, move to someone else.
And that's before they move in. That's
right
on the table.
Yes.
They know.
And
we disclose that right away. Renter's insurance is relatively inexpensive. It's going to cost them around $10 to $15 a month for a renter's insurance policy.
And that helps the landlord because what? Take some of the burden of...
It helps both of them because the landlord does not cover their personal belongings in the home. If there was a fire or if a pipe's busted upstairs and everything got flooded, they don't have any coverage for their personal belongings. I think it's more beneficial to the tenant to carry that renter's insurance. And it's a firewall for them. But it also helps the homeowner because it puts a little bit of a buffer between them and the losses of the tenant. But the tenant they don't fully understand that the owner isn't responsible for those losses.
Okay. All right. Mike, I don't know if you have anything about renter's insurance.
I wish I were able to say the same.
Yeah.
But in my world, rents are established and they're fixed, and you cannot exceed X dollars per month in rent. And if it's not an option, then it's included in rent. So I could require it, but I'd have to lower my rent in order to give the tenants the ability to pay for it. So phrased differently, I can't require it. We encourage it, but we can't require it, though I wish we could.
Okay. We've talked a lot. That went really quickly. Is there anything else you guys really want to talk about? Anything particular? Because I think we're about ready to wrap up. Anything we left out? Or anything you want to talk to renters or landlords about?
Well, I think that the most important thing that we do in our business of property management is we try to help the tenant know from the get-go everything that's going to happen, help them understand it, be completely transparent with them. And I think that the more communication that you can have with the tenant so that there's not an adversarial position, but that you're the friendly landlord and that you're there for them. You're not just representing the homeowner, you're also there for them.
Okay. Mike?
I'll just make an editorial comment.
Yeah.
That when tenants have issues or complaints and such, the use of AI today is problematic because AI writes letters and they use trigger words and they use trigger phrases, and instead of being a letter that says, hey, I have this issue, can you help me, can we resolve it, it throws us into legal autopilot by using
legal terms.
Legal
That's
terms.
Interesting.
So if you say hostile environment, if you say constructive eviction, some of these nasty terms, then it throws us into what we call legal autopilot. Mm-hmm. So part of what I would say is it would be nice if it's okay. You can write a letter that's in not so good English that says what you want to say, and we can work it through. When you have AI help you write the letter so that it sounds very erudite, sometimes you end up
triggering something else.
You throw yourself into
interesting
an autopilot of litigation. Yeah.
I never thought about that. Yeah, that makes some sense. All right, guys. Yeah, that was great. Thank you for being here. I think it's a lot of good information. And that was Deborah Simmons, owner of Advantage Arizona Real Estate and Property Management, and Mike Coten, owner of KK Realty Corporation. Both will try to give the websites out too as well, and then go through you, I guess, to find out a little bit more about everything.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, great.
I just want to say, BBB, I love the organization. As soon as I became a broker, one of the first things I did was join it because I really believe in what you're doing here for the public and for businesses as well. So thank you so much for letting us come in.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, definitely. Can't say anything more than that, man. That's a great ending. All right. That was today's Joe Knows Better. See you next time.